when you look at the worst owners of all time, where do you think Daniel Snyder ranks?
You know, we talked about this yesterday with Don Van Natta, the ESPN reporter. He had Dan as the worst.
The worst.
As number one. All the different things that went on, the transgressions, the investigations, the fines, the lack of winning.
Yeah.
He had Dan first.
Whoa. That's interesting. TJ, I'm happy you chime in on that. Because, you know.
I mean, like, you've got Snyder, you've got Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yesterday Don talked about a guy who, you know, a friend of mine who's a Washington fan, we spoke about, which was George Marshall, the last owner who integrated the NFL, didn't want, you know, wanted to keep segregation up. He's someone who I feel you could put on there. You know, I don't know. I think maybe overall he might be I don't know. Sterling was so bad, though, guys. I'm like, Sterling was so bad.
Here's what I will say. I don't know. You guys on the radio can't see me, but you probably can hear me, and people on television can see me. And like, I'm black.
If you don't know,
you know.
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes, I could have grown up in a certain way. You know what I mean? I could have done that. But I'm a black man. I think, Daniel Snyder's terrible. Don't get me wrong. For what he did to the team, you're talking about sexual harassment, talking about the money issues, you're talking about being fined $60 million, non-winning, the coaching changes over the years or whatever, destroying a proud franchise. That's what Daniel Snyder did. But racism kind of trumps it all, bro.
To me, yeah, that's why I'm like, Sterling.
Sorry, not to make it much of a race issue, but like Sterling was terrible. Sterling didn't build a winner until later on. Of course, he had the Doc Rivers scenes with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and whatnot. But they could never made it to the Western Conference Finals with him as an owner. They never went to the NBA Finals with him as an owner. He was very cheap. The whole Elgin Baylor situation with him. Yeah. And by the way, then his girlfriend drops a dime on him. Yeah. And all that type of stuff. Speaking of Magic Johnson, you know what I mean? You don't want certain people at his games or whatever.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? So I think Sterling. Then how about my man Robert Sarver?
Yeah, Robert Sarver. Yeah.
Sarver,
he's another one.
So Sarver was the guy that, if you look from the outside in, if you see him just on the periphery, the perception was he was this great owner, great guy, whatever. But then he had this thing that was happening behind the scenes where he was, dropping the N-bombs and all that type of stuff and had to sell a scene. But the thing is, when you are banned, Sterling, when you are banned from the league,
literally taken away from you.
You had your team taken away. You had your players quit on you. Your players basically dropped jerseys
in a playoff. In the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
Talking about not playing a game.
Not a game. The playoffs.
Playoffs.
In the playoffs. Chris, are you talking about star players dropping jerseys because their owner was racist, was the worst, was prejudiced, whatever you want to call him, a bigot, whatever you want to call him. And so, man, so when it comes to that, I think that Donald Sterling definitely takes the cake because the lifetime ban, being cheap, racism and all that type of stuff. And I got a personal beef for when it comes to worst franchise owners of all time. I'm a Knicks fan.
Mr. Rich would agree with
Rich
you.
Rich is a Knicks fan.
I'm just
yeah.
People on the radio can't. I'm looking I'm just looking right now. I'm just looking into the camera right
Mike's
now.
head is shaking.
Like
he's not blinking.
His eyes are tearing up.
I'm a water up, man.
We might look for a tissue, Mike.
I get emotional. I think about Dolan. His daddy was good. I like this daddy.
Yeah.
I like this daddy. I used to work for his daddy when I was at MSG.
A word?
Yeah, when I was at MSG a long time ago, man. I've been in this business for a long time. Oh, but I look good. You know what I'm saying? Black don't crack. That was
you know the routine.
Days don't age. You know how I go, bro. You know what I'm saying? Moisturize.
Days don't age.
Moisturize. You know what I'm saying? Hydrate.
Yeah.
Stay happy. That's why I got a divorce. I had to be happy. You know what I mean? I am not going to live my late night, my late years being unhappy. That's not going to happen. Nothing against her because that could be in blogs tomorrow and stuff like that because she's a celebrity. Anyway, No, but James Dolan, man, what he's done with the Knicks, just, I mean, just horrible. Thin skin, can't win. Doesn't want to win. Doesn't put a winner on. And this is the Knicks. People come out. We want to see a winner on the floor. We want to see excellence on the court.
It's the Garden.
Yeah, it's the Garden. It's the Mecca. And he can't even get good free agents to come to New York partly because of his culture. Partly because of the people he hires. Now, of course, 2 of the last 3 years, they've kind of turned things around. They finally won a playoff series last year. See how far they can go this year. But still, man, James Dolan, honorable mention. Now, I will also say there are other owners out there that are good and bad. Jerry Jones. We talked about this before the show came on, TJ, your team. Jerry Jones. A lot of people don't like Jerry Jones. A lot of people love Jerry Jones. I, for one, actually like Jerry Jones. I covered Jerry Jones when I was down in Dallas. He loves his team.
Yeah.
His players seem to love him. They don't really have beefs with him after they leave. They understand the business side of things. And as you mentioned, he has the Cowboys, a great, proud franchise, won three Super Bowls in the early years. Well, that was Jimmy's teams. I'm going to give Jimmy the credit for it. But he was the owner of the team, so we got to get credit.
He got the trophies.
And his ego kind of got in the way, which is the bad side of things, because he wanted to be the general manager, and he speaks more than – I hear more from Jerry Jones than I hear from Dak Prescott.
That's true.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
You hear more from Jerry than almost anybody else.
Yeah.
Jerry loves them cameras, man.
Settle down just a little bit.
But he loves the camera. He ain't gonna shy away from a camera. Now, but that's his team. Mark Cuban's the same way. Mark Cuban is like the front of the, like, no matter who's on the team, the most popular person, part of the organization is the owner, Mark Cuban.
Yeah, for sure.
And Jerry Jones for the Dallas Cowboys. So, hopefully the Cowboys can get things turned back around and they can win another Super, because it's been a long time, man. They've won 2 playoff games in the last since they won the Super Bowl or something like that. And that's sad for that Cowboys organization. So
catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.